So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and I've had the Google Pixel now for about 72 hours, or you could say about 3 days. I basically want to share with you my opinions, my feelings, my experience, my thoughts with this phone so far, to just kind of give you an idea of what I've accumulated so far. I will be having more speed tests and reviews coming, but I want to talk about what's going on with this phone, what it's all about. Now, this is the smaller Pixel. This is not the Pixel XL2, the bigger one. I didn't want that phone. I know it's the one everybody looks at because you see all the 2017 trends, big screens, everybody wants the Pixel 2 XL. But the panel is made by LG and it looks pretty trash compared to the one on the small Pixel. So that's one of the main reasons I went with it. Also, I wanted the lighter phone. So let's talk about the design, the body, and the build, my first impressions with this thing. Okay, so let me talk about my first impressions, my thoughts on the build of the Google Pixel. So the first thing I noticed is that this thing doesn't feel, super premium. So coming from things like the Galaxy Note 8, the iPhone 8 Plus, using the Pixel 2, it kind of doesn't feel super premium. So I'm not going to sit up here and say it feels like a $700-800 phone because, to be honest, they went ahead and coated the aluminum on the back here and it kind of feels cheap if you ask me. Now the top of the phone feels okay. It feels kind of smooth like glass that we would like to see. But going with this material on the back, it might be a little bit unique compared to the competition. But when you're paying $700-800 for a phone, this is just not cutting it. It doesn't feel like $700-800. Fortunately, though, I do like how light it is. And if you like, to keep your phone super lightweight, you don't like heavy phones, you're going to really love the Pixel 2, especially the small one. Even the large one's pretty light because these phones are pretty featherweight in that regard. Now, the front of the phone does have speakers at the top and the bottom, and it kind of has like these metal sides that go around the front of it on the lip, which kind of hides the antenna lines. So if you don't like antenna lines, you will dig the Pixel's design, but overall still doesn't feel like the most premium phone. Now the glass itself is very smooth, just like any other smartphone, very buttery smooth, and it has a Samsung source display, so the display on this phone does look good. It's tuned for natural looks. You probably should put on the vivid color mode on this phone because it doesn't stand out too much. It's not a lively display and it's not like a too muted display. The one on the small Pixel 2 is kind of in the middle. So it depends on what you like. To me, I think it's a really nice display, specifically on a smaller one, not on the larger device though. So kind of the saving grace of the Pixel line, and to be honest, if it wasn't for this phone would probably have no chance at competing with anything on the market right now, is the software with the Pixel. Here is where the Pixel really shines, and you might be able to forgive its less than amazing stellar hardware for its software. So it's super smooth. It does run stock Android, which is going to be updated for 3 years guaranteed, and it's super fast. So I've seen a lot of fast phones this year. The OnePlus is right up there with this phone, but the Samsung Galaxies, the LGs, they don't feel as fast as the Pixel. So if you do want a very speedy Android phone and you do want updates to continue with your purchase, this is probably one of the phones you want to consider if you can look past the hardware. Now, I do want to mention that on the back of the Pixel, you do get a fingerprint scanner right there, which is pretty nice because it rests right where you would put your finger. So at the end of the day, software is pretty fantastic on the Pixel. Android 8.0 Oreo, and in my past 3 days, it feels bare bones. It feels simple. It feels like it's not packed with too many features. And the software kind of gets out of its way and just lets you enjoy your applications, and it's reliable. Overall, this is pretty much the saving the day here for the Google Pixel 2. It's the software. 72 hours later, using the camera on the Pixel has been nothing short of amazing. I've actually been pretty blown away with the Pixel, and I didn't kind of believe what everybody was saying about the phone until I got my hands on it. But now that I got my hands on it, it's really smart. And what the camera does when it takes a photo is pretty incredible. It does some background processing with artificial intelligence plus HDR, and it just turns out amazing. I mean, you can almost just pull this phone out, open the camera. Let me go and open the camera. You can just snap a photo of anything, and it just gets it like every time. Like it gets the picture you want without doing any manual stuff. So of all the smartphone cameras I've used this year, in terms of photography, just shooting a photo, point and shoot, the Pixel has the best camera I have seen all year on any smartphone that includes the iPhone X. So one area of the phone in the past 72 hours that hasn't been too impressive but has been solid is the battery life. So the phone does come with, a battery saver mode right here you can toggle on. I think it's that right there. And it also has auto brightness and stuff like that. But if you want to know just basically what I've been getting in terms of the battery life itself, it gets me through the day. It kind of reminds me a lot of the iPhone X, where it won't go like more than a day, but it will get you through the day and it's not going to be overly impressive. That's exactly how the Pixel 2, the small battery life is, the small phone's battery life is. Now, I am going to do an all-day battery test with this eventually, as I did with other premium phones this year, the S8, the iPhone X, as well as the 8 Plus, and we'll see how it actually does in the real world. But I can tell you right now, it's pretty solid for this smartphone. Plus, it includes rapid charging, so you can rapidly charge this thing. But since we're looking at the bottom, I do want to mention this phone has no headphone jack. It's pretty annoying that this phone has no headphone jack. You cannot put a headphone in here, and they do give you a dongle, but everybody never really liked what Apple did there, so I can't give Google credit for this. That's not cool, Google. You taking the headphone jack away. But I guess they're trying to change the future. The future might be no headphone jacks. We'll see. I still got my Audio Technicas in my bag right now that require a 3.5 mil. So really, that's personal preference. But to me, I don't like this with the Pixel. Okay, guys, so I want to talk about some issue I've been having with the Pixel 2 in the past 72 hours. That's some keyboard lag. So this phone has been giving me some keyboard lag. It doesn't happen all the time, but I've been actually pretty slow to type on this phone due to that. Now, I'll be writing on Instagram. I'll be writing my description out, for my photo, and the keyboard will just lag. And I really don't understand this. I haven't seen this on any other Android phone this year, and it's happened in other applications as well. So there is some keyboard lag on my Pixel 2 unit. I don't know if you have that. Maybe it'll be fixed in an update, but I wanted to make that known here. Now, I did want to discuss with you guys the fact that you don't get wireless charging on this phone. It doesn't have a glass back, so there's basically no wireless charging you're going to get with the Pixel 2, so keep that in mind. It also doesn't support IP68, it supports IP67, and this really irks me because IP67 is nowhere near as good as IP68 when it comes to water resistance. I mean, I feel much more comfortable taking out my phone with IP68, and it's basically, it's not really a deal breaker or anything, but you got to remember, in terms of value, when you're paying $700 for a smartphone, and Samsung's got one for less, and it gives you IP68, even their older phones have it, that's a problem to me. So keep that in mind. IP67 here, just water resistant, not waterproof. So what is my final thoughts after 72 hours with the Pixel 2? So again, I'm sharing with you my experience, my opinions on this phone. Well, the Google Pixel 2 to me in the past 72 hours since I purchased it, I think it was over $700 or so with tax, it doesn't feel what it costs. So the body itself, as I mentioned earlier, doesn't feel that way. I kind of feel like Google needs to step it up when it comes to the hardware. Now, the camera is amazing. I've been blown away with the camera, and as a matter of fact, when I go out to shoot, if I'm bringing a phone, this is the one I want to bring, especially for photography. If I'm doing videography, I'll still probably turn to my, iPhones with the 60 FPS. But this guy is definitely going to be the next phone for me when it comes out to the camera. So the camera game is strong, especially for photography. Best camera phone all year. Battery life, I'm impressed with the battery life just because it gets me through a full day. A lot of my older Nexus devices couldn't get me through a full day. The software, extremely pleased with the software, sans the keyboard lag. I don't know what's going on with that. That might be a specific issue. But overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, in the past 72 hours, I give the Google Pixel 2 a solid 7 out of 10. It loses a few points for no wireless charging, not feeling apart, not feeling super premium. And to be honest, I don't think this is the best phone, Android phone you can buy right now. Now, if you are someone who really is an Android purist, you love updates, you really want to feel like you just got the most stock phone, this might be the best phone for you. But all around, as an all-around package, to me, this is just not the best phone you can buy right now. But I will have Google Pixel 2 camera reviews, camera comparisons. I'm even going to do it versus the DSLR that I'm shooting this video on. And any suggestions you have, comments, questions, drop them down below in the comment section. I do read all of the comments, and I do try to produce some of the videos that you guys are requesting. So go ahead and do that. And thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next one, and peace.